Hope you all are good. Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents. You have to log in there. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 7 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter ratios, rates, and proportions. The lessons we're going to cover today are do the ratios form a proportion, solve proportions word problems, equivalent ratios, and understanding ratios. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Okay, here I'm on grade 7 math. The chapter we're on right now is ratios, rates, and proportions. Let's just start with the lesson that is do the ratios form a proportion. Okay, so let's just start with the first example that is do the ratios 8 by 16 and 1 by 12 form a proportion. So how do we see if they form a proportion? You have to do, you are given 8 by 16 and 1 by 2, right? You need to, sorry, not equal. You have 8 over 16 and 1 over 2. These are the two fractions we have, right? Two, we need to determine whether they are proportion or no. You need to compare their denominator. You can compare them using a common denominator. Here is 16 and here you have 8, right? So you can use 16 as a common denominator, right? And make this denominator equal to 16. So that is 2 times 8 is 16. You need to multiply this fraction by 8. 1 times 8, 2 times 8. So 8 times 1 is 8 and 8 times 2 is 16. So see, we multiplied this fraction by 8. Now this fraction and the first one, they both are exactly same, right? That means both the ratios are exactly same. So yes, they are proportion. Got it? Basically, they are the equivalent ratios, right? So you have to see if they are equivalent. Yes, if they are equivalent, that means they are also proportion, right? You need to make their denominator same. If by making their denominator same, they are exactly the same denominator, exactly the same fractions, that means they are proportion, right? Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, do the ratios 2 by 1 and 13 by 9 form a proportion. So that is 2 by 1 and 13 by 9. 2 by 1 and 13 by 9. Let's just make their denominator same, right? The common denominator is 9. You need to make this equal to 9. So that is 2 times 9 divided by 1 times 9. So 2 times 9 is 18 and 9 times 1 is 9. Their denominators are same. but their numerators are different. That means no, they are not the proportion. The correct option is no. Option number 2 the ratios 20 by 10 and 2 by 1 form a proportion, which is the correct option. 20 by 10 and 2 by 1. You need to multiply this fraction by 10 to make their denominator same, right? That is 20 over 10, 2 times 10 and 1 times 10, right? So when you multiply it by 10, that is exactly like same this fraction, right? So both the fractions are exactly equal. That means yes, they are proportion. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is yes. Do the ratios 3 by 8 and 6 by 16 form a proportion? 3 by 8 and 6 by 16. 3 times 2 and 8 times 2, right? That is 6 by 16. So which is the correct option? Yes, they are proportion. The correct option is yes, option number 1 is the correct option. Do the ratios 7 by 9 and 1 by 3 form a proportion, which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? No, they are not equivalent, right? The correct option is no. Do the ratios 1 by 2 and 2 by 6 form a proportion? 1 by 2 and 2 by 6, no, they do not form a proportion, right? The correct option is no. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is, do the ratios form a proportion word problems? You can do these word problems on your own. The next one is solve proportion word problems. So let's just do this lesson, right? Martha wrote a total of 9 pages over 3 hours. After spending 6 hours writing this week, how many pages will Martha have written in total? Assume the relationship is directly proportional, right? So the first thing is, what do we mean by directly proportional? Directly proportional relationships are the one in which one of the quantity is increasing, that means the other quantity is also increasing, right? Just look at the one we are on right now. She have written 9 pages over 3 hours, right? So 9 pages to 3 hours, that makes a proportion. Now, after spending 6 hours, time is also increasing. Earlier that is 6 hours, now that is, sorry, earlier that is 3 hours, now that is 6 hours. So if time is increasing, that means the pages are also increasing. That is the directly relationship, right? One of the quantity is increasing, the other quantity is also increasing. So you need to solve this proportion for n. Just make a proportion 9 over 3 divided by n over 6, because n pages we need to find. Solve do cross multiplication and solve it for the n. So n equals 18. Got it? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Let's see. You can have a look on the tutorial by yourself later today. Alice took a total of 25 quizzes over the course of 5 weeks. How many weeks of school will Alice have to attend this quarter before she will have taken a total of 35 quizzes? Assume the relationship is directly proportional weeks. So 25 quizzes over 5 week, right? That is 25 over 5. Now, how many weeks will Alice have to attend this quarter before she will 35 weeks, 35 quizzes? 35 quizzes over n weeks. You need to calculate the value of n. So just cross multiply and solve for n. That is 25 times n equals 35 times 5. N equals 35 times 5 over 25. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 5 is 25, and 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 7 is 35. So n equals 7. The correct option is option number 1, that is n equals 7. Option number 1 is the correct option. Brenda jarred 21 items of jam after 3 days. How many days did Brenda spend making jam if she jarred 35 liters of jam? Assume the relationship is directly proportional. So just make a proportion. That is 21 liters of jam in 3 days. So how many if she jarred 35 liters of jam, you have to calculate in how many days, right? So you have to do 21 times x equals 35 times 3. So x equals 35 times 3 divided by 21. 3 times 1 is 3 and 3 times 7 is 35. 7 times 1 is 7 and 7 times 5 is 37. So that is x equals 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is x equals 5. Got it? If you have any question, you can please ask. The correct option is option number 1. That is 5. Leslie prepared 12 kilograms of dough after working 6 hours. How many dough did Leslie prepare if she worked for 9 hours? So, which is the correct option? That is 12 kilograms in 6 hours, right? So, if she worked for 9 hours, how much kilograms of dough she prepared? So, just solve it for the x. X equals 12 times 9 over 6. 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 6 is 12. So x equals 6 times 3. So which is the correct option? That is x equals 18. Option number 1 is the correct option. The correct option is option number 1. Martha wrote a total of 9 pages over 3 hours. After spending 6 hours writing this week, how many pages will Martha have written in total? I think that's the one we did on the tutorial, isn't it? That is 9 pages over 3 hours. So how many pages after 6 hours? So which is the correct option? That is x equals 9 times 6 divided by 3. So which is the correct option? 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, right? So x equals 9 times 2, which is the correct option? That is x equals 18. Option number 1 is the correct option. The correct option is option number 1, that is 18. So you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is equivalent ratios. Are these ratios equivalent? The ratios you are given is 2 ratio 5 and 6 ratio 12. So how do we see if the ratios are equivalent? They are 2 by 5 and 6 by 12, right? To see if they are equivalent, you need to cross multiply them. Cross multiply means you need to multiply the numerator of this fraction to denominator of this one and numerator of this fraction to denominator of this one, right? You have to do 2 times 15 equals 5 times 6. If both sides are exactly equal, that means they are equivalent. Got it? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Let's see how do we see if the ratios are equivalent. Okay, so that is 1 over 2, 1 over 4 and 2 over 8, right? So let's just see if they are equivalent. 1 by 4 and 2 by 8, right? You need to cross multiply them. 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 4 is 8. So both sides are exactly equal. That means yes, they are equivalent. The correct option is yes, they are proportion. Are these ratios equivalent? The ratios are 3 to 5 and 6 to 20. So that is 3 to 5 and 6 to 20. Let's just cross multiply them, right? That is 3 times 12 and 6 times 5. So 3 times 12 is 60 and 6 times 5 is 30. No, they are not equivalent. The correct option is no. Are these ratios equivalent? No. The correct option is no, they are not equivalent. The next one is, are these ratios equivalent 2 to 4 and 12 to 20? So which is the correct option? That is 2 to 4 and 12 to 20. So which is the correct option? Yes or no? The correct option is no, they are not equivalent, right? Option number 2 is the correct option. Are these ratios equivalent? That is 1 to 2 and 2 ratio 4. So which is the correct option? That is 1 times 4 equals 2 times 2. 4 times 1 is 4 and 2 times 2 is 4. The correct option is yes, they are equivalent. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is understanding ratios. What is the ratio of the blue jeeps to total jeeps? So you need to count the blue jeeps to total jeeps. You have 9 blue jeeps to 10 total jeeps, right? Be careful when reading the questions. That is ratio of blue jeeps to total. So blue jeeps are 9 and blue jeeps are 9 and total jeeps are 10. So that is 9 to 10. Option number 9 ratio 10. Let's just start with the test questions. What is the ratio of green tabs to purple tabs? So which is the correct option? Green tabs to purple tab. That is, you have one green tab and one purple tab. So that is 1 to 1 ratio. The correct option is 1 to 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 1:1. What is the ratio of the red rectangles to purple rectangles? So which is the correct option? Red rectangles to purple rectangles, right? You have only one red rectangle and three purple rectangles. So that is 1:3. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the ratio of brown pentagons to total pentagons? So which is the correct option? That is one brown pentagon to two pentagons because the total are two. That is 1 to 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the ratio of the blue jeeps to total jeeps? So which is the correct option? That is 9 to 10. Option number 2 is the correct option. You have 9 blue jeeps and 10 total jeeps. So that is 9 to 10. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? What is the ratio of the yellow balloons to blue balloons? So which is the correct option? That is 6 to 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the ratio of green parakeets to total parakeets? So which is the correct option? Two to four. Option number 2 is the correct option. Two green parakeets and the total parakeets are four. That is 2 to 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the ratio of purple t-shirts to total t-shirts? So which is the correct option? That is 4 to 6. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the ratio of the red blocks to green blocks? Which is the correct option? That is 1 to 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the ratio of yellow diamonds to orange diamonds? So, which is the correct option? Two to two. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 2 to 2. What is the ratio of the blue nonagons to brown nonagons? So, which is the correct option? That is 3 to that is 3 to 2. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? 3 brown nonagons and 2 brown. So, that is 3 to 2. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So, we were working on grade 7 math. Chapter we are working on is ratios, rates, and proportions. The lessons we have covered today are: do the ratios form a proportion? The word problems you have to do on your own. Then we did solve proportions word problem. Then equivalent ratios, and the one we've just finished is understanding ratios, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can simply click on the live chat, but tutors are available there to help you. Or either you can write down the question in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So you can please write down the question in the chat box if you need more help with any of the lesson. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.